Welcome to the stream. Oh man, oh man. What a game. What a game. Something else good there. Another one. What a game, bro. That's bad. It was not good. That the offense was. I knew we had problems, but I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, you saw the Bears with what's his face? Tyson? Was it? It's Tyson something, right? You saw what they were doing. They were just rolling him out every single time. Tyson Bagent, 20 catches or 20 passes, 33 attempts, 162. He got all those on just basically rollouts. Thompson. It's hard because that angle, it was hard to see what offense they were running. I still think they say Thomas is calling the plays, but the film's going to come out in a couple of days. I still think Frank's calling the plays. I really think he's calling the plays. You see how the offense is set up. I just feel like, you know what I wonder? I took notes too. Early in the game, you saw Bryce roll out. We saw play action, right? We saw him play action. We saw play action out of center. We saw play action in shotgun. And then we never saw it again. Okay, yeah. He's calling it out of. So, I mean, he's just calling whatever Frank would call anyway. So, I mean, yeah, I agree, Thompson. That's actually perfectly put. That is perfectly put. I mean, he's just calling the plays that Frank has. Frank's not letting him add anything. I think he did. I think it was a play action we saw where he rolled out. But that was it. And then we saw a couple of run plays where, whether it was Raheem or Hubbard in the backfield, they didn't know what they were doing. Play calling is still terrible. Same difference between play calling. Yeah, I think Thompson said it best right there. I'm gonna make sure I note that. Let me know if I forget, but it's just Frank's play calls. I mean, he said something in an interview. I'm gonna look it up. He said something about Thomas Brown taking over, but basically he's still gonna have some type of say in it. And actually, Thompson, I think you said it best. Is that it's just his plays. I mean, let me see. I mean, the plays suck. The plays flat out suck. The run game, and what really showed was that we should have never got rid of Foreman. You saw how hard it was to tackle Foreman down after down after down after down. Foreman's not gonna. He never got. That's not true. He did get big gains with the Panthers last year, but Foreman is a pain in the tackle. That dude's big. He's gonna get yards. Hubbard's not, and he's not supposed to. We don't want Hubbard. We don't want Miles. We don't want Raheem. I mean, we want them to get yards, but I don't know why we got rid of Foreman to get Miles. I've seen. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. No, I don't think we. I'm pretty sure we just didn't sign him. I don't think we cut him. I mean, I guess in theory the same thing. But I mean, oh, Bryce, be careful how I say this. Bryce did not look like Bryce looked in the past weeks. He did not. You saw certain plays where Bryce had happy feet in the pocket. He was not relaxed. He had a lot of he had a lot more ump on that ball. That ball was sailing high quite a bit. Uh, I mean, we offered Foreman the money we gave Miles. Foreman said no. I mean, at this point, I don't blame him. They lost a QB from. Yeah, but you got to realize, look at that offense. I mean, one touchdown's bad, but the offense that the Bears ran for Tyson was way better than what we call for Bryce. You saw Tyson consistently rolling out. DJ Johnson, the rookie out of Oregon, on the edge. I'm not going to fault him too much because I don't think he's played that much this season. Um, every time Tyson just rolls out, hits Cole, the tight end, and they look good to be honest, but they just kept rolling out, rolling out, rolling out. I mean, at some point, and then the blitzes just shooting the gap every time. It wasn't working. We had that blitz where we stopped them on third down. That was the only blitz I think that worked. The blitzes just they weren't hitting, and I think we just got no interior pressure other than Derek Brown. Derek Brown just, whew, Derek Brown's that guy. But other than Derek Brown, I mean, I'm kind of lost. All right, so here Frank said this. Talk Thomas Brown. He said he knew it was going to happen from the jump, but he goes, I knew it was a question. I knew it was not a question of if, just when. The play calling thing is still going to be collaborative. Thomas is going to lead it. He's in charge of it. He'll make the call. So that right there tells you the play calling thing is still going to be collaborative. So, like you guys said, I'm pretty sure it's just out of Frank's playbook. That's all it is. Bryce was not throwing well. No, Bryce was definitely not throwing well. What do you guys think of Boodle? I thought Boodle, he struggled in the first half, but I thought he played decent. Lined up over Moore. I thought Moore was about to explode. I thought Moore was going to explode for real, to be honest. But Panthers did their thing. Yeah, that playbook sucks. And that's going to be a video for next week where we go over that whole thing with Matt Ryan because Matt Ryan last year was a Colts quarterback and he called it a blank show, right? With Frank Wright was the head coach and Frank got fired. But I looked it up. Matt hasn't retired. Matt Ryan hasn't retired. He just stepped away because he looked bad in Indy. And now we know why Matt Ryan looked bad in Indy. Nobody's talking about it yet, but I guarantee you it's going to come around. If you look at the play calling that Matt Ryan had in Indy and why Matt Ryan looked so bad, your answer is right here in Carolina. Your answer is right here. Yeah, Frank, bye-bye. I mean, I don't understand how the Panthers, I felt like they had a fighting chance last year, but this year, this was bad. This was just and the most frustrating part was the field goals. What's good, Baron? The field goals was the most frustrating part, to be honest. Then we called a timeout on third down, which I would be okay with. You know, we drop it on third down, fine. Fourth down comes up, we try to kick a 59-yard field goal with Eddie. Show some I got to be careful how I phrase this. Show some passion of some sort. Go for it on fourth down. I just show some passion. Go for it. I mean, kicking a 59-yard field goal to tie it, not to win it, to tie it. And then you blew the timeout before that, so now you only have 2 timeouts. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like Frank doesn't. Maybe I'm wrong. It just feels like he tries to play way too conservative. And again, we're going to look at that because when Matt Ryan was with the Colts, he did the exact same thing. They lost faith. They lost faith in Bryce after he almost got picked on third down. No, 100%. I think Frank's like, okay, well, I don't know. Maybe Frank just trying to keep his job, which let's kick a 59-yard field goal, I guess. I mean, I'll just get 5 yards with those last two. I mean, that was the other thing. I think Bryce did take a bad sack there. But without being able to see the different camera view, I have no idea what routes are being ran. That's the only problem there. So I just feel like at some point Frank has to show some passion of some sort. This whole let's play it safe, conservative, and look where it's got us. It's awful. If Burns was playing, I feel like we win this game because, like I said before, Tyson was just escaping to the outside. I think Burns would shut that thing down quick. But I think this just exposed our team as for what it is, and they need to sign Burns. They need Chin. This shows it. And then Derek Brown's contract's coming up too, so woo, they have to make some decisions quick. Yeah, I don't know why Wilkes should have been kept, Foreman should have been kept. The thing that doesn't make sense is whose call was it to get Sanders? Was it Frank's call because you already had Blackshear, you already had Hubbard? I mean, what does Miles bring to the table that those two didn't? No, Barron, but you got to look at this in a different perspective. Look what they did with Tyson. They rolled him out consistently, and they kept rolling him out, and there was no pressure. They would just roll him out every time, and look what happened. Tyson didn't do anything special. He had 20 passes for 160. He had less than a 5-yard throwing average, right? They just rolled him out. Tyson didn't do anything amazing. Other than that run he had when we tried to strip him, he kept it. Other than that, there was nothing amazing that Tyson did. And in fact, if you look at the film, his footwork to start the game was not good. So what did they do, right? If you go back and look at the film, right, when it comes out, Tyson struggled in the first half. His footwork sucked. So what did they do? They made him comfortable by running that play action, roll him out. He's a mobile quarterback. So him sitting in the pocket, you can see that made him nervous. So the Bears were like, all right, let's roll him out, let him get comfortable. And look what happened. That's the difference, right? The Bears coaching staff accommodates to Tyson's weaknesses, right? They see it. He's getting happy feet in the pocket. Let's roll him out, little play action, and look what happened. Literally, Thielen was open. Oh, Fitty should be gone. Fitty should definitely be gone. All right. Frank got beat by Matt. Yeah, Frank just wants to play it conservative. 100%. Adam was open. I'm going to have to check out that, Eric. I'm going to have to check that out, Eric. Bryce, and that's something I am going to do a video over Bryce Young, and it's not going to get monetized or anything, but I do want to go over Bryce Young. It does seem like he doesn't want to check it down that much. Now, I did like that he threw it away because, as you saw last week when he threw the couple pick sixes, he probably should have just thrown those away, right? So that was a step up, but I am going to go through the college game and figure out did Bryce ever really check it down? I have to go through quite a bit of film, but in his biggest games, did he ever check it down, or were his weapons that good at Bama where he could wait? The O line was that good. He had protection. That's going to be something we're going to look at. Um, I haven't seen Bryce hit a long pass yet. Now, if you go look at the QB school, he did a great job summing this up on the past video, and it was right there in front of us. I don't know why I didn't see it, but the reason Bryce hasn't hit a deep pass is because the routes they run, they're not deep pass routes, right? We're not running any deep concepts. And when we do, we can't beat the press. So teams will sit in the zone, or I guess man, press us. Well, Bryce doesn't have time for us to beat the press, run the post, get past the safety. So the deep passes aren't there for Bryce. That's the difference between him and CJ. CJ has the ability because of the concepts they run. Our guys can't get off the press, which is like a fifth of the time. Majority of the time, they're just short routes. Hook route, a stop route, curl route. Appreciate you, Rock. That's the difference between Bryce and CJ. Look at the route concepts. They're terrible routes. So when teams are sitting back in that zone, we run a little hook route, they're breaking on the ball before receivers are. Yeah, the right guy, 100%. Adam Thielen could actually do more damage if we had a number one receiver, but we don't. Yeah, Brennan, 100%. I think Bryce is already struggling. He was getting happy feet, and usually that dude is calm, cool, and collected, right? That ball was sailing over people's head today. Not a good look. Oh, he made a great catch, and then I thought, all right, perfect. We're going to throw more deep passes, and then I don't know what happened. We were rolling him out, the play action, and then we just stopped. I don't understand. You know what I wonder is if once we got that punt return for six, if Frank wanted to start playing conservative right there. Because at the beginning of the game, they went a little bit out of their normal playbook. And I wonder when we got that punt return is when we started playing conservative, that's my guess. We got a punt return, and then we basically said, all right, I guess trust her. And that's what he did, right? I mean, how many times did they punt? That was awful. Your punt, we had our punt for six, field goal, punt, 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 field goal, miss. I mean, they're down to 5. Team J runs a route that would have been short, even if he would have caught it. Yeah, that route by Team J. I mean, again, it's hard to see what that angle was. Anything else open? So I can't. But based off that route right there, it tells me that they're running what they've been running the past weeks. Oh, Baron, you gotta look at the coaching though. You gotta look at the coaching. You gotta look at the coaching. First half, Tyson was struggling. Look at the film. Happy feet in the pocket. Then they roll him out. DJ Johnson was getting beat on the outside. Barna wasn't doing great. The Bears coaching staff did a great job adapting to Tyson's weakness. The Panthers didn't. The Panthers just, I don't know. They just keep running the same thing they've been running for the last, 8, 9 weeks now? How many first down runs for negative or no gain? Yeah, this is my point right here. This is my point. They kept doing this, in the first half, give or take, happy feet in the pocket. Then they run the play action, get Tyson comfortable. I mean, that's the difference between a good coaching staff that cares about the quarterback and what the Panthers currently have. They adapted. I mean, I'm going to show that in the film come next week. The defense looked good, but you're going to see Tyson struggled in that first half. I mean, and then they adapted. start to be better, especially with the wide receiver. Hayden's a big one because I was one of those people who was I was big on Hayden, and now it's like Tremble, I guess, which I think Tremble should have been from the go. But that goes to another one. So we had Raheem, we had Hubbard, we signed Miles Sanders, we have Tremble, and they were using Ian Thomas for a while. Then we signed Hayden Hurst. I don't know what Hayden Hurst is bringing us that we didn't already have. Even Giovanni's not bad. I don't think Giovanni's bad. So once again, we're signing two guys where it's like, I don't know. I thought Hayden was definitely going to be a bigger factor than he is now, and maybe he is, but maybe just not with this coaching staff. As of right now, as of now, yeah, it's not a good look. And losing to the Bears, who you get the pick to, they're sleeping good tonight. Ooh, they're sleeping good tonight. They are sleeping good tonight. Yeah, I mean, there was no pressure. There was no pressure. Tyson had all day. That's another thing, guys. For those of you who are comparing Bryce to Tyson, and I'm gonna show it in the film. Tyson had all day to throw it. Tyson had all day to throw it. So we can compare the two all we want, but you got to look at the film. Tyson has all day. That's a great question. That's a great question. This is another good point. We run it on first down. We take the same inside zone run basically every time. And then Bryce is stuck with the second and 10. We run Frank's little spacing offense, right? A little hook, curl, stop route. Sometimes complete, sometimes incomplete. Win out every 5 times, it looks like. And then third down, Frank doesn't have any plays for third down or third and 10. Let me rephrase that. So it's third and 8, third and 10. Bryce has to convert. Defense drops back into the zone. They know what's coming. They keep everything in front of them. Just not a good look. This right here basically sums it up. This sums it up how the game went. I mean, I knew the Panthers were in the bottom half as far as talent and how they looked on the field product wise, but this sums it up. And this is another good point. Ian Thomas. I mean, I don't understand who was making these decisions. If Reich stays, I did not see us winning another game. If Reich stays, there's something else going on. There's no chance. There's just no chance that I don't know. Something else has to be going on if Reich stays. I don't know how he stays. Because I am going to be posting the indie video this week, and you're going to see Frank's the cause. Frank is the cause. And like who said it earlier? Thompson said earlier, Thomas Brown has the play calling ability, but he's just calling Frank's plays. I mean, that's all it is, right? We need Scott. Oh, 100%. They should have been gone at the bye week, to be honest. But I mean, as I read the article from Frank giving Thomas Brown, excuse me, the play calling, I mean, you can just see that Frank did not want to give up the play calling. He's acting like he did, but I mean, if you read the article, he's so passive aggressive about it. It's just crazy. This is where they should do like the Raiders. Just dump them. I never thought I would say do something that the Raiders do, but do it. Just dump them. Just just dump them. Honestly, it can't get worse. I mean, the trade already is in question, but I don't think it can get worse. I really don't think it can get worse. You just lost to the Bears, who you gave all the picks to, and now embarrassment on prime time. Complete embarrassment. Yeah, I don't know that there's a worse team. The Raiders look good now. They look. I mean, now that they're giving Josh Jacobs the ball 50 times a game, they look pretty good. There might not be a worse team. I don't know who would be worse. Uh, this team looks bad. Like really, really bad. I'm looking at the free agents who signed. You know, there was nobody that was a crazy free agent as far as receiver. They signed DJ for 4.7. Above him, I mean, nobody's sticking out. Darius Slayton for the Giants, he's all right. Odell coming off an injury. Robert Woods, Houston has him, not bad. Adam, they also signed 3 year, 25 million. Then there was Juju. Let me know what your thoughts are on Juju. There was Hopkins. Hopkins signs for 2 for 26, and we signed Adam 3 for 25. But I think Adam happened before though. If I remember, I think that happened before. I hope so. You had Lazard and 4 for 44, not bad, but at this point, like I said, we made a mistake trading for picks. I mean, yeah, this is a good point. I mean, I like Bryce too, but at what cost? At what cost? Now, I still like Bryce, but sometimes, man, you gotta weigh the stuff. And losing to Chicago, who you gave the picks to, just that's a bad luck. That's why someone told us they at least have a draft pick. Cardinals, yeah, they're in that rough spot too. They've got their own issues with their quarterback, right? That's a whole nother thing. I like that one, Baron. This is what I'm saying. If Frank stays, I mean, this is this. If Frank stays, I mean, this just sums it up. Are we trying to win? I mean, I will say I'm a little bit more relieved as I look at the free agent list for running back or receivers from last year. I mean, there was Juju Hopkins, but I think he signed after Adam, which I hope he did. But Jacoby Myers, Alan Lazard, so there wasn't a ton of free agent receivers from last year. So I'm happy with that. Um, this right here, it's another good point. There's so many red flags. There's just so many red flags. Like Bryce too. I I'm kind of with you on this, Brennan. I think I kind of let the media, unfortunately. I try not to, but I think sometimes I let the media dictate my thoughts. And I was kind of going back and forth, kind of following almost following the trend, which I hate to say, but I think I was. And I was, CJ with that arm strength is crazy, but it's like, okay, he played at Ohio State. We've seen Ohio State quarterbacks. Bryce Young, he's calm, cool, collected in the pocket. And so I ended up going with Bryce. And I don't know how much more success CJ would have in Carolina, especially with this offense. So I mean, we're gonna see what happens in the next 3 to 5 years. I think including DJ over Burns was dumb. This is an interesting point because I think it goes back to the saying, you don't know what you have till it's gone. And with DJ, I think that was the case, but we also have to realize last year, like I said on the telecast, we were a run heavy team, right? We were run heavy, and that was that. And then essentially we'd see PJ throw a deep, but we were pound, 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 right? So DJ, I don't think it was a factor, but which is weird because it kind of contradicts itself because it's like, okay, we trade our best receiver to draft a franchise quarterback, but now we don't have a good receiver. I don't know. Maybe they just wanted Bryce to be play act. I don't know. I mean, it's a good point right here. You you draft a franchise quarterback, but you trade away your best receiver. But maybe they didn't think DJ was that good. Uh, all right, so we talked Bosa, Watt, Aiden's a beast. I see what you're saying. I we're gonna see where the market's at with this, Baron. I see what you're saying with this. I mean, right here is another good point. This is exactly what I talked about. I thought Matt Ryan was trash. I was like, all right, this dude's old. He sucks. And this was without watching film, right? I was like, all right, Matt Ryan's done. Then I think it was a couple days ago. I was like, wait, Matt Ryan was with the Colts last year, so was Frank. Let me pull up the film. And then Matt Ryan called it a blank show when he was in Indy, and he has not retired. He's just a free agent. I thought he was trash, right? I thought he was washed up. He's done. He doesn't have Julio anymore, right? It's the offense in Indy, and who was the coach in Indy, right? The offense, the offense. I don't know. The offense sucks. What's good, my guy? What is good? Talking Panthers, talking, man, we need some answers. We need some answers. Who we got free agents for next year, receiver wise? You got Mike Evans potentially, Odell, Chris Samuel, Tyler Boyd, DJ. Do the Panthers re-sign DJ? That's my question. Do the Panthers re-sign DJ? I don't know. Marquise Brown's a free agent. I would take Marquise Brown. Do they sign Laviska? I mean, after today, I think you have to sign Brown or you have to sign Burns because. And what do you mean, red guy DB? But Burns, the edge. I don't think we lose against the Bears if we have Burns because all they were doing was run that play action, made him comfortable. He hit Cole. I don't think we lose. Appreciate you, my guy. Brennan, I agree. I mean, there's so many things we could have done. So many things we could have done. DJ's wash. That's what it seems like. We don't have anybody that can beat the press. And Adam, I'm mixed on because I think sometimes he gets put in a bad position. Like they'll put him as an inside slot guy when we want to beat the cover two, so he has to get past the middle linebacker. Bryce already doesn't have time. Adam's just not that fast, and I hope they didn't sign him for him to be a number one receiver because that's just not going to work. And I think that's also another thing that threw off Bryce. Ryan, happy to see you. Happy to see you. Hey, special teams look good, right? Special teams look good. Do we sign Adam to be number one? I hope not. I think the problem was, and I probably overdid the excitement a little bit, but for training camp, the preseason, the practices, we saw DJ look good, in the practice, right? We'll just call it the OTAs, right? I was one who was hyping him up quite a bit. We saw DJ look good. We saw TMJ. I mean, I was hyping up everybody actually, but I was hyping up everybody. And then the season starts and everybody's hurt. Everybody is hurt. So it's like there's no chemistry. I think Bryce and Mingo on 2 or 3 different throws, they were off. I think there was a third and one they were off. There was a deep throw they were off. The chemistry just sucks. The chemistry, and there's nothing you can do except more reps. No, you're not tripping. This is where we are right now. That third and one, Mingo's on that third and one. Bryce wants to get that ball out quick, right? Mingo had separation. I don't know why he did a double move on that 2-3 yard slant route. Unless somebody wants to tell me below, I don't know. I don't know why Mingo did that double move on that third and one. He wasn't getting pressed. The defender wasn't playing him on the inside, right? I don't understand what Mingo was doing on that third and one. I'm not excusing Bryce's throw, but I think it goes back to that timing. I think I think Bryce thought Mingo was going to hit that right there, and Mingo's still doing a double move. I don't know. I don't see why they don't give Amir some more plays. See, this shocked me because when I did the video over Amir at the beginning, I was like, all right, this is our new speed guy. He's going to get reps. I think I saw him in for a couple plays, and he got that offensive pass interference, and that was it. So we put him in there. It's like we put him in there to block. This reminds me of what last week when they put Adam at the end of the line next to Hayden Hurst. Why is Adam Thielen on the line? That doesn't even. Why is Adam Thielen on the line? That doesn't even. It doesn't make sense what they're doing with these guys. Adam Thielen on the line next to Hayden Hurst. Then I think it was either next to Hayden or Tommy, and then he falls over, trips the tight end, and then the guy comes in. So that's when they use Adam for that. Then they bring Amir just to go block. The dude's like 5'10", 160. So we bring our smallest guy out there to block. All right. It just doesn't make sense. The personnel doesn't make sense. The play calling doesn't make sense. This whole offense just doesn't make sense. This was another good point. I think I had this in my notes too. Why is Adam catching the screens? Why is Amir not back there? Why is he not back there? Why is Adam back there catching the screens? I'm lost on that one. That's a good point. I mean, I don't know why Adams back there out of all people. He's a great route runner, right? Don't get it twisted. He's a great route runner, but for screens, come on, man. Between Bozeman, Icky, I mean, but I saw this coming, in practice, preseason against the Giants. I saw this coming with the O line. It's just bad. Could you imagine if they had the number one pick? I think if we kept some of the pieces from last year, we have a better record than we do now. That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. But again, let's say we had this is where a lot of people get messed up. It's like, all right, let's say we never did the trade. Let's say we kept the picks. Well, look who they drafted so far. Excluding Bryce Young, we let him get some better receivers, some play calling, and we'll make the judgment on that. But let's say hypothetically we never did the Bryce Young trade and we get the number one overall pick. We think they're going to draft better this time. I mean, yeah, I don't know where we improved at. To be honest with you, I don't. Appreciate you coming back, Ryan. Appreciate it. Signed. We signed Demir. We signed Demir too, and I haven't seen Demir at all. I have not seen Demir at all. Hey, Khan. I mean, I don't know how everybody else feels, but I hope he's gone before the year's over. There's just no way he sticks around. There's no way he gets another chance, right? There's no way that he gets another chance. All right, that makes sense then if he's hurt for the season. Because I'm looking at the depth chart. I mean, you got Amir right there. Why is Amir not being used for screens? That's my question. Why is Amir not being used for screens? I don't see. There's got to be a buddy buddy with this. Con said I don't see it, especially after how we finished with the Colts. There's got to be a buddy buddy between ownership and Frank. There's got to be a buddy buddy there. There's got to be a buddy buddy because again, films dropping next week. You're gonna see that play calling. Whew. And we're gonna go over Matt Ryan's comments too. But yeah. This was a big one. Where did this come from, right? The all-star coaching staff that the Panthers have. Remember on the defense is playing pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie to you. They lost 13-16, and the Panthers punted it how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 times, or the Bears punted it 6 times. I mean, the Panthers didn't move the ball at all. This right here is interesting because if you compare this year's O line to last year's O line looked way better than this year, and it's not even close. It's not even. I mean, Man. Yeah, I think yeah. That's gotta be some type of connection there, right? I mean, I don't know what they saw in Frank other than he was the first Panthers quarterback. The Bryce hate is the Bryce hate is crazy. You can see it in my last video. I mean, and I don't think people are watching. Everybody watches the QB school, but they watch for CJ, but they don't watch Bryce Young. And if you watch him talk about Bryce Young, you're going to see Bryce doesn't even have a shot. This right here depends, right? This depends. How long is Frank going to stay the head coach for? How long does Frank stay the head coach? I mean, if we look at the schedule this year, where do you, man? Let's see. Oh, we have Dallas. Oh, man. Micah Parsons. Woo. We have Dallas coming out, Tennessee. Tennessee's going to be interesting because that rookie QB, Will Levis, he loves DeAndre. Tampa Bay. I mean, I would like to say we could beat some of these teams, but I don't think we can. I mean, Mike Evans and Godwin. Then you have the Saints. We'll see. I mean, we lost by 3 the first time. I think we've gotten worse. Atlanta's going to be interesting. The Packers, the Jags, and then Tampa Bay to end. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, there's 8 games left. Parsons Parsons going for 6 sacks. We better. I mean, there's no way they're picking up Parsons, right? I mean, who's going to pick him up? And the thing is, if Dallas gets a lead, Dak Prescott is lights out, right? Dak is lights out when Dallas has a lead, right? So if Dallas gets a lead and then Micah can tee off at the quarterback, I mean, it's game over. It's game over at that point. This could be scary next week. That that could be ugly. This is interesting because I think it goes back to chemistry. Like, again, in OTAs, I was hyping up DJ, TMJ, LaVesca, but now everybody's hurt. So all that chemistry he built with them, it doesn't even matter because they're either playing or they're not playing. And game speed obviously is different than real or practice speed, and it shows, especially with Mingo. It shows. 8 games left. Can we win any of them? And I don't. Now that New Orleans has Kamara because they did in week 2, now that Kamara's back, I don't know who they beat. I don't know who they can beat. I mean, maybe the Falcons. Maybe the Falcons. Maybe you got Heineke playing. Maybe that's. So who becomes the interim, right? Do we promote Avero or do we promote Thomas Brown? I mean, who becomes the intern? I mean, he's not wrong, right? He's not wrong. I did see this. I did see Bryce come out with way more passion. I think pre-snap or before the first play, right in the huddle, you saw passion from him. He wanted to win, but when you give him the crappy route tree that they give him with the play calling, I mean, what do you want him to do? 3 sacks in the game. Yeah, I mean, I will give Bryce this. He did throw it away a lot, but with that being said, I also felt like he's regressing a little bit, right? He's getting happy feet in the pocket. He's not calm in the pocket. And another thing we have to do is we also have to realize that Bears defense, man, they've got some players. They've got some players who actually want to play. I think the Bears defense might be a tad underrated because that offense had struggled, but that Bears defense, man, they've got some players. We didn't have anybody shooting the gaps like they did. That number 6 kid, that dude can flat out play. This is a good point because as I went over the Texans video, was it Derek Brown? Derek Brown swatted one, and maybe it was Tuttle that swatted the other one. But there was 2 third down plays where CJ was going to have an open guy, and because of a swatted pass, which they happen, but 2 swatted passes early on stopped that drive from going further. If it wasn't for those swatted passes, do the Panthers win? I don't know. Right, the defense once again bailed out the team. I think it was within like the first 4 drives, there were 2 swatted passes that killed the drive for the Texans. So the Panthers, once again, man. Does he stay right? Does Avero stay after this year? In general, does he stay? Imagine if he goes. Oh man. Imagine if he goes for a head coaching job. So now we gotta find a head coach, gotta find a defensive coordinator. I mean, oh boy. This would have to be Frank, I think, right? I think Frank's jobs, and I think everybody did what they were supposed to do except for Frank. Now, with that being said, is there any chance that they make Thomas the scapegoat for this? Right? They make Thomas the play caller, and then he gets canned. It's happened before. It's happened before. I hope they don't. But depending on how close Frank and the ownership are, I don't know. That was just a weird thought I had. Make make Thomas the play caller and then can him as a scapegoat. I hope they wouldn't do that, but I wouldn't be shocked. Yeah, Brisker is nice. Brisker is definitely nice. I don't think okay, but you got to realize this. If you go look at the film consistently, he would just roll out and be wide open. Now, I think DJ hasn't really gotten a lot of reps until tonight. Barno didn't look great either. Both those guys on the end, they're not it. No, and I agree with you 100%. I think everybody does, but we've seen it happen before where somebody gets canned because you know ownership and management are tight like that, right? It just feels like a sneaky suspicion. Lots of New York Giants and the Raiders holding player-only meetings. Surprise Panthers players aren't fed up like that. I would like to think that they're fed up. I mean, maybe not, right? I would like to think that they're fed up, but I just I don't know about this team. I mean, I don't know about this team. And the thing is, Mikey, is that the Raiders have the talent, right? I mean, they've got that rookie quarterback Aiden, who's not bad, but you got Devontae Adams, you got Josh Jacobs, right? They've got Jacoby Myers, who's pretty good too. They've got talent over there. They should be winning games. Just feed Josh Jacobs the ball, hit Devontae deep, hit Jacoby in the middle. They've got talent. That was for the Raiders anyway. The Giants are a mess, but probably still better than the Panthers. But you can see those teams want to win. I don't know what the Panthers are doing. I would like to see anybody as a head coach because oh, I 100% agree with this. But the next person who's the head coach, I want them to be able to understand Bryce Young and put weapons around him that make him better. Miles Sanders is doing zero, nothing. Hayden Hurst, nothing. Now, part of that's on Frank's play calling, right? I don't think the way Frank's play calling is designed, it's Hayden's not going to succeed in that. So if that's the case, why do we sign Hayden Hurst? And if we're just going to run an inside zone, why don't we just keep Hubbard and Blackshear? Or why did we sign Miles for that? I don't. The free agent signings just don't make any sense. They don't. They don't make any sense. Von Bell's been all right, I guess. I like Tuttle. But I mean, our top three signings, excluding Von Bell, Hayden Hurst, 3 years, $21 million. Miles Sanders, 4 years, $25 million. And then you got Adam at 3 year, $25 million. Sanders definitely has been getting better, but my thing is, did we need him? Is he making that much of a play difference? Did we need Sanders? I think Hubbard's done good. I think Blackshear's gotten better. Did we need Sanders at 4 years for $25 million? Knowing you have to pay Burns coming up, knowing you have to pay Derek Brown. I, Frankie, apparently Frankie's a free agent. I think next year too. Burns. I mean, so I think Derek Brown's on 2 years. That's right. Derek Brown's on 2 years. Let me go over a couple of these real quick. Hayden. This is a touchy one only because I'm gonna go over it in the film next week as long as I remember. But the play calling, the route concepts that Frank calls up, Hayden's not going to succeed. It's not designed for the tight ends like we have Kelsey, Andrews, the Lions, Sam Laporta, the Vikings, Hawkinson. The concept that Frank runs, it's not designed for that tight end to succeed, right? It's the stop routes, it's the hook routes, it's the out routes. That's not really a tight end's go to, right? That's not his MO. I mean, they're basically, out route, bang, bang, stop route, right? A hook route. First of all, Bryce doesn't have time to wait on a tight end to run any of those things. I mean, what was it? Week Between week 2 and 4, they're running a whip route with Hayden Hurst in the red zone. Why are we running a whip route with Hayden Hurst? This right here is another good point. You know, Foreman, he was getting 2 or 3 yards, but he was doing that consistently every time. And then what happened? Defense pinched in, then they rolled Tyson out. That right there is a great offensive game plan, right? Pound, pound, pound Foreman. Defense pinches in, bam, you roll out, you hit your tight end. And you just basically play conservative ball, right? Which is exactly what they did to win. This right here, I mean, I wasn't big on Blackshear last year, but I thought the offensive game plan was going to be way more advanced, but it's not. It's pretty simple. So why we brought Miles in for this is beyond me. Yeah, Adam's been good. Adam has definitely been good. I think sometimes you can get frustrated with him because they run screens with him and he gets no yards. But again, he's not. He's 33 years old. 33-year-old slot receiver, right? I don't expect him to get that yards after catch on a screenplay. That's never been his MO ever. So why we're doing that doesn't make any sense to begin with either. Where's Amir Smith at? Give him a chance. Put Raheem out there. Give him a chance. I don't. I just Adam's been great, and they got him. I think what decent too, right? 3 year, 25 million. So what, 8 million a year? That's not bad. Oh man. Could have drafted Laporta. But I mean, this is another point, right? We've got what? I think the depth chart said we've got Tommy at tight end, Sullivan, Giovanni. I mean, and what they were using Ian Thomas for the first 5 weeks too. And then you had Hayden Hurst on top of that. So we had 4 tight ends. Tommy, Giovanni, Steven, and Ian Thomas. And now we had Hayden Hurst. What for what? I don't know. Puka actually he actually would fit with the offense that Frank's running, believe it or not. This is the only one that actually would have made sense. Because I went over Puka's film, right? And it was basically Stafford was just hitting Puka on basically little curl routes, little hook routes, little out routes, in routes. I mean, he was just if you look at it, Puka had like 15 catches, and he was getting popped every single time he caught it. No, Mikey, that Puka actually would have for Frank's offense. No. That's trolling or not, because I went over Puka's film. Puka actually would have made sense. Because if you go look at it, he just in routes, out routes. He catches everything. Mingo's a bigger guy. I mean, that's not Mingo's MO, right? Puka actually. Mm, that's actually a good point. Yeah, Puka actually would have actually fit this offense. That's interesting. Tank has shocked a lot of people, and I don't think he gets enough credit. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying, Mikey. Puka, Puka's that guy. I mean, he's taken a ton of hits though, a ton of hits. Josh Downs for the Colts. Downs has definitely done his thing too. I don't. Maybe I need to go over the Mingo film again this week because. All right, Mikey. I got a lot. I got a lot I want to do this week. I want to go over Frank and his play calling in Indy. It explains why Matt Ryan hated it there. I want to go over more of the route concept so people understand. I want to go over the defense and show people how Tyson struggled in the first half, but you saw Bears came in, pounded, 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 right? Forced the defense to pinch in, then they rolled Tyson out. It's second grade stuff, right? I mean, it's just common sense. They pinch in, then you roll them out. For whatever reason, the Panthers refused to help out Bryce Young. This is this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go over the Mingo film because I feel the same way. Mingo just. I mean, if you watched my last video, it's like he like runs in that slow motion type of thing. Like Devontae does that too. Devontae Adams has a couple routes where he does that, right? But then bam, he's open. Mingo, he takes 2 or 3 seconds to hit that thing, and then half the time he's not even open. Funches. Ooh, I can see that. But he reminds me of that now, but I don't think he did before. Before I had big hopes for Mingo. But no, I definitely like this comparison. Before I thought he was going to be that next big playmaker, but now it's like now I don't know what we're getting. Round two, pick 39. Yeah, I mean, he showed a lot of potential before the draft, and now it's like, where is it? We took DJ Johnson in the third round. DJ, this one's interesting because no one's talking about taking DJ Johnson in the third round. And what's interesting is it was hard to find highlights on him because I think he was a tight end for his first 2 years at Oregon, and I'm an Oregon fan, right? But DJ's only played the defensive position for maybe a year or two in college. There wasn't a ton on him. So that part's interesting in itself as well. Because when I saw him out there, I, now Robinson looks good. Robinson does look good. When did we draft Robinson? I think Robinson was the fifth round. Yeah, I like Robinson. Uh, but DJ in the third. I mean, this is what he's consistently done since the beginning. Him and Barno, and it's going to be on the film this week. Him and Barno, bro. I don't. You've got Derek Brown. You've got Shaq. Whether you like Shaq or not, you've got Brian Burns. I mean, Tuttle's good too. Robinson. You've got all these guys who consistently show you different pass rush moves, and it feels like Barno hasn't developed. And I don't know if you guys saw it though. It was what the Bears. It was third down. If the Panthers make a stop, the Bears have to punt, right? Or I guess they could have kicked the field goal. One of the two. And you saw Barna was playing contain. I think it was contain. It's awfully deep if it was a contain. And then you saw him come in. Tyson reads that, and then bam, game's over. I mean, Barna was sitting right there. Tyson reads him coming in. Bam, he gets picked apart right there. I, I don't know. I mean, the Dolphins rookie Devin. I don't know how to pronounce that last name. I think it's Davon. That dude went after DJ Johnson. That dude is lights out too. Man. Deion Henley, I liked him. The Chargers drafted him. I don't know what once again, I don't know what the Panthers saw in DJ Johnson. But I said he was a tight end coming in, and this is huge. Yeah, this I agree with this. I agree with this one. 100%. Now Downs did go before DJ Johnson. He was a pick right before DJ, but it's better than that. There was man. There's definitely some picks. Keely Ringo. I guess we can always go back and like hindsight's 2020, but damn. All right, guys, I'm about to wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed the post game press conference. Wasn't the prettiest game, but I mean, I don't know what I expected. Yeah, I agree with. It all looks bad here. It all looks bad, no matter where you look. It seems like I thought Dante Jackson played pretty good. I did got to bring that up. I thought Dante Jackson actually played pretty good. Now, with that being said, half the time it felt like what's his face, Boodle was on DJ Moore, but for the most part, I thought Dante played pretty good. So I'm about to call it wraps. Hope you guys have a good night. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. I'm gonna start trying to do basically one live video a week. Stay tuned for that. I'll make a post figuring out what day that's gonna be. Appreciate that came in. Have a good night, guys. We'll be live next week.